And for more on this, let's bring in Republican strategist and attorney Ford O'Connell, along with former senior DHS advisor under the Alejandro Mayorkas, retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Berney Flowers, and National Police Association spokesperson, retired Chicago area police officer Betsy Brantner-Smith. Wonderful to have all three of you here on Monday afternoon. So, Betsy, I'm going to let you start here. The way I see it is these blue state politicians, they simply don't want to remove criminal illegal aliens, so they're doing everything they can to impede this. Your thoughts?
They're doing everything they can to get cops hurt and killed while getting their political will. It's insane. ICE lies, people died. That is so outrageous. What's happening in Chicago, what's happening in Portland is really not equal protection under the law for these ICE agents. And let's not forget, for the illegal aliens that ICE is trying to protect. Republicans have got to be loud about speaking out against this rhetoric, or we're going to see more people hurt and we're going to see cops killed. It's got to stop.
Ford, I want to get your thoughts on the legality of this. Back in June, of course, the Supreme Court limited universal injunctions. Now, is there any nuance here where potentially a lot of these federal judges' assertions could potentially fall under this and they are actually acting out of turn, or is this separate?
Well, let me just start with the Oregon judge. She is way out over her skis. And Donald Trump can deploy federal troops to Oregon, regardless of whether or not they're from Oregon. The question is, can he actually deploy the Oregon National Guard if the governor refuses? That's where we sit. And in terms of injunction, no, you cannot enjoin in Chicago what went on in Oregon. And if Donald Trump wants to send the Texas National Guard to Chicago to protect federal assets, then he can do that. And there is nothing that Governor Pritzker can do about it.
Colonel, I want to get to this here. Bring up an arrest that ICE made in Chicago here. This man was an Austrian criminal, illegal alien. You can see what his name is there, Stefan Sheva, okay? He had prior convictions for sex assault of a family member under the age of 6, aggravated criminal sex assault with force involving a child under the age of 13, aggravated criminal sex abuse involving a child under the age of 9. A real scumbag here. These are the kinds of people that are being protected by preventing ICE from coming in and the National Guard from coming in and assisting with this. What do you say?
I say Joe Biden's mess is come to fruition. The bottom line is we brought these people in from all over the world with the intention of destabilizing our country. That's the bottom line, what we got here. And President Trump is trying to clean this up. The Insurrection Act allows him to unilaterally, move these people out of the country. He's trying to protect us as American citizens. We need to write our congressional representatives, write our legislators, and let them know where we stand. We got to back the blue right now, because there's a lot more of these criminal aliens all over the United States, basically hiding out. I saw this when I was working at DHS, and now we've got to deal with it.
Betsy, speaking of American citizens, I know that when Donald Trump initially sent the National Guard into Chicago, or at least was talking about it, a lot of Chicagoans and a lot of people in the area said, please, we need this. We used to be able to walk here. We can't now. Are you still hearing positive feedback in and around that area now that it's actually happening?
We are absolutely hearing positive feedback, including from boots on the ground law enforcement. Law enforcement officers are sick having to be told you can't go help your brothers and sisters. Cops are cops. We want to be able to protect each other, and we want to be able to protect our communities. And this terrible politicization of this issue is making law enforcement sick. You saw the Fraternal Order of Police stand up and say, enough is enough. Now we've got to get politicians on all sides to do exactly what the Lieutenant Colonel said, and that is back the blue legally and constitutionally.
Okay, got to leave it there. Ford, Colonel, Betsy, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
for
guys.
having us.